The power of Hermes has fascinated scholars and mythology enthusiasts for millennia. But what makes this Greek deity so intriguing and relevant, even today? Prepare yourself for a journey through time and myth, where we will discover how a mischievous young god became one of the most influential and multifaceted figures in the Olympian pantheon. Hermes, the son of Zeus and the nymph Maia, was born in a cave on Mount Cyllene in Arcadia. From birth, he demonstrated extraordinary cunning and ingenuity. Legend has it that, when he was only a few hours old, the little god escaped from his cradle and set off on an adventure that would define his reputation forever. In this first feat, Hermes stole the sacred herd of his half-brother Apollo. With a skill worthy of a master illusionist, he made the animal's footprints appear to go in the opposite direction, confusing anyone who tried to track them. This early display of cunning and deceit laid the foundation for what would become one of the best-known aspects of Hermes, his role as the god of thieves. However, to reduce Hermes to a mere patron saint of thieves would be a grave mistake. In fact, this episode illustrates a fundamental characteristic of his nature: the ability to transcend limits and subvert expectations. Hermes is, above all, a god of transitions, boundaries, and transformations. This fluid and adaptable nature of Hermes manifests itself in many aspects of his mythology and cult. He is the messenger of the gods, able to move freely between the mortal world, Olympus, and even the underworld. This unique ability makes him a mediator par excellence, a facilitator of communication and exchange. The caduceus, the winged staff often associated with Hermes, is a powerful symbol of this mediating function. Originally a simple shepherd's staff, it became a magical instrument when Hermes used it to separate two fighting serpents. The serpents intertwined around the staff, creating a perfect balance between opposing forces. This symbol of reconciliation and harmony became so powerful that, to this day, it is used as an emblem for various professions related to health and commerce. Hermes' association with commerce is particularly interesting. As the god of exchange and transactions, he presides over all types of business, but his domain goes beyond simple material exchanges. Hermes is the patron of all those who make communication and persuasion their art, from merchants and diplomats to orators and poets. It is fascinating to see how this role of Hermes as a facilitator of exchange and communication finds echoes in our modern society. In an increasingly interconnected world, where information flows at speeds unimaginable to the ancient Greeks, we could say that we live in a hermetically connected age. Social networks, instant messaging applications, and e-commerce platforms are, in a way, modern manifestations of Hermes' domain. But Hermes' power is not limited to the material world and earthly communications. As a psychopomp, a guide for the souls of the dead, he plays a crucial role in the transition between life and death. This role reveals a darker and more mysterious aspect of his nature, connecting him to the secrets of the afterlife and the mysteries of existence. This connection with the world of the dead also makes Hermes a central figure in many magical and esoteric practices. Hermeticism, a philosophical and spiritual tradition that emerged in Hellenistic Egypt, owes its name to Hermes Trismegistus, a syncretic figure who combines aspects of the Greek Hermes with the Egyptian god Thoth. Hermeticism has had a profound influence on the development of Western thought, influencing fields as diverse as alchemy, astrology, and philosophy. The famous Hermetic maxim "as above, so below" elegantly sums up the idea that there is a fundamental correspondence between the microcosm and the macrocosm, between the material and the spiritual world. This holistic view of the universe, which sees connections and correspondences at every level of existence, is profoundly hermetic in nature. It invites us to see the world not as a collection of isolated elements, but as an intricate web of relationships and meanings. In this sense, Hermes is not just a mediator between different realms, but a symbol of the very interconnectedness of all things. Hermes' versatility also extends to the realm of language and interpretation. As the god of eloquence and hermeneutics, the art of interpretation, after which he is named, Hermes presides over all forms of communication and understanding. He is the patron saint of translators, interpreters, and all those who seek to decipher hidden meanings. This association with language and interpretation has profound implications. In an increasingly complex and multicultural world, the ability to understand and communicate across cultural and linguistic contexts is more crucial than ever. Hermes' secret power, in this sense, can be seen as the key to navigating a world of ever-changing meanings. Hermes' fluidity and adaptability also manifests itself in his association with transformation and alchemy. In the alchemical tradition, Hermes is often associated with mercury, a liquid metal known for its ability to combine with other metals. This mercurial quality, mutable, volatile, adaptable, is a fundamental characteristic of Hermes. Alchemy, often misunderstood as a mere quest to transmute base metals into gold, was in fact a complex discipline that sought spiritual transformation through material processes. The alchemist's ultimate goal was not material wealth, but the attainment of the philosopher's stone, a universal agent of transformation that could elevate the alchemist himself to a state of spiritual perfection. In this context, Hermes represents not only external transformation, but also the capacity for internal change and evolution. He is the guide who leads us through the labyrinths of our own psyche, helping us to integrate different aspects of our personality and achieve a state of wholeness and harmony. This psychological function of Hermes was explored in fascinating ways by the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung. In his theory of archetypes, Jung identified Hermes with the archetype of the trickster, a figure who defies convention, breaks rules and, in doing so, catalyzes necessary change and transformation. The trickster, like Hermes, is an ambivalent figure. He can be both an agent of chaos and a catalyst for growth and evolution. His mischievous and unpredictable nature serves to destabilize rigid structures and stagnant thought patterns, opening up space for new possibilities and perspectives. In our modern society, we can see manifestations of the trickster archetype in figures who challenge the status quo, whether in politics, art, or technology. Innovators who break established paradigms, artists who defy convention, entrepreneurs who revolutionize entire industries, they all carry a spark of the Hermetic spirit. But Hermes' power is not limited to exceptional figures or moments of great disruption. In fact, his dominion extends to all moments of transition and transformation in our everyday lives. Every time we cross a threshold, be it physical, emotional, or metaphorical, we are invoking the power of Hermes. Consider, for example, the rites of passage that mark important transitions in our lives, the onset of adulthood, marriage, retirement. These moments of change and transformation are intrinsically Hermetic in nature. They invite us to leave behind a previous state and embrace a new phase of our existence. Similarly, on a more subtle level, we can see the influence of Hermes in all moments of change and adaptation in our lives. When we learn a new skill, when we adapt to a new environment, when we change our perspective on something, in all these moments, we are channeling the transformative power of Hermes. This capacity for adaptation and transformation is particularly relevant in the contemporary world, characterized by rapid and constant change. In an era of technological disruption, climate change and accelerated social transformations, the ability to navigate uncertain terrain and adapt to new realities is more crucial than ever. In this sense, the secret power of Hermes can be seen as a key to resilience and innovation. By embracing Hermetic fluidity and adaptability, we can become better able to thrive in an ever-changing world. This does not mean abandoning all principles or beliefs, but rather developing the ability to move with grace and intelligence through changing circumstances. Another fascinating aspect of Hermes' power is its association with synchronicity, a concept developed by Carl Jung to describe seemingly coincidental but meaningfully related events. Jung saw synchronicity as a principle that connects acausal events, creating a pattern of meaning that transcends purely mechanical or linear explanations. As the god of unexpected connections and meaningful coincidences, Hermes can be seen as the patron deity of synchronicity. His mastery over the boundaries between different realms, the physical and the spiritual, the conscious and the unconscious, makes him an ideal mediator for these moments of meaningful convergence. This perspective invites us to be attentive to the subtle patterns and connections in our lives. By cultivating a Hermetic sensitivity, we can become more receptive to the signs and opportunities that the universe presents to us. This does not mean abandoning rational or scientific thinking, but rather complementing it with an openness to the mysterious and the inexplicable. Hermes' influence also extends to the realm of creativity and innovation. As the god of invention and ingenuity, he presides over all acts of creation and discovery. The ability to make unexpected connections, to see patterns where others see only chaos, to translate abstract ideas into concrete reality, these are all manifestations of Hermes' creative power. It is no coincidence that many inventors, artists, and scientists throughout history have reported moments of sudden inspiration that seem to come out of nowhere. These flashes of insight, often described as a kind of communication with a realm beyond consciousness, have a distinctly Hermetic quality. Auguste Kekulé's famous dream that led him to discover the structure of benzene is a classic example of this type of Hermetic inspiration. Kekulé reported dreaming of a serpent biting its own tail, an image that led him to the idea of the circular structure of the benzene molecule. This image of the serpent biting its own tail, known as the Ouroboros, is an ancient Hermetic symbol that represents unity and eternity. This episode perfectly illustrates how the power of Hermes can manifest itself as a bridge between the conscious and the unconscious, between the world of dreams and the world of empirical science. It reminds us that great discoveries and innovations often arise not only from linear, analytical thinking, but also from intuitive leaps and unexpected connections. In the field of technology, we can see echoes of the Hermetic spirit in the way that innovation often occurs at the intersection of different disciplines and fields of knowledge. The ability to make connections between seemingly disparate areas, to translate concepts from one domain to another, is a profoundly Hermetic skill. Think, for example, of the development of artificial intelligence. This field combines elements of computer science, mathematics, neuroscience, psychology, and philosophy. AI pioneers are in many ways modern-day heirs to the Hermetic tradition, seeking to create artificial minds that can process and interpret information in ways that echo the capabilities of Hermes himself. Similarly, the emerging field of quantum computing, with its reliance on principles that challenge our everyday understanding of reality, has a distinctly Hermetic quality. The idea that a particle can exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed, the famous Schrödinger's cat, has a decidedly Hermetic flavor in its defiance of conventional logic. In the realm of art and culture, Hermes' influence can be seen in the way different traditions and styles merge and transform. Cultural syncretism, the appropriation and reinterpretation of symbols and ideas from different contexts, the creation of new forms of expression that transcend traditional categories, these are all profoundly Hermetic processes. Think, for example, of the emergence of hybrid musical genres, the fusion of architectural styles, or the way digital art is redefining the boundaries between different forms of media. These are all examples of how the Hermetic spirit of fluidity and transformation continues to shape our culture. In the field of psychology and personal development, the power of Hermes manifests itself in the idea of psychological integration, the process of recognizing and integrating different aspects of our personality, including our shadow, the aspects of ourselves that we tend to repress or deny, is fundamentally a Hermetic process of mediation and transformation. Therapy techniques that seek to facilitate this process of integration, such as Jungian analysis or certain forms of transpersonal therapy, can be seen as modern Hermetic practices. They seek to create bridges between different aspects of the self, facilitating an internal dialogue that can lead to greater wholeness and psychological harmony. In the world of business and leadership, the power of Hermes manifests itself in the ability to navigate complex and rapidly changing environments. The most effective leaders in our age of uncertainty and disruption are those who can embody Hermetic qualities, adaptability, lateral thinking, the ability to mediate between different perspectives and interests, the ability to read complex environments, to anticipate emerging trends, to facilitate communication between different departments or organizational cultures. These are all deeply Hermetic skills. In an increasingly globalized and interconnected business world, these Hermetic qualities become ever more valuable. In the field of education, the power of Hermes manifests itself in the increasing emphasis on skills such as critical thinking, creativity, and lifelong learning, the ability to continually learn, unlearn, and relearn, to make connections between different areas of knowledge, to adapt to new contexts and challenges. These are all Hermetic skills that are becoming increasingly crucial in a rapidly changing world. Educational approaches that emphasize interdisciplinarity, systems thinking, and creative problem solving can be seen as modern manifestations of the Hermetic spirit. They seek to cultivate flexible, adaptable minds capable of navigating the complexity and uncertainty of the contemporary world. In the field of spirituality and personal growth, the power of Hermes manifests itself in the search for a more holistic and integrated understanding of existence. Spiritual practices that seek to transcend artificial divisions between mind and body, between self and other, between human and nature, have a distinctly Hermetic quality. The growing interest in practices such as mindfulness meditation, yoga, or various forms of New Age spirituality can be seen as a search for Hermetic experiences and insights. These practices often seek to facilitate altered or expanded states of consciousness, allowing practitioners to experience realities beyond the ordinary. Ultimately, Hermes' secret power can be understood as the ability to navigate with grace and intelligence through complexity and change. It is the power to see connections where others see only chaos, to find opportunities amid uncertainty, to transform challenges into catalysts for growth and evolution. In a world characterized by rapid and disruptive change, unprecedented global challenges, and increasing interconnectedness between different cultures and knowledge systems, the Hermetic qualities of adaptability, creativity, and mediation become more crucial than ever. Hermes' invitation is to embrace fluidity and transformation as fundamental principles of our existence. It is an invitation to become mediators between different aspects of ourselves, between different people and cultures, between different forms of knowledge and experience. By cultivating these Hermetic qualities, we can become better able not only to survive, but to thrive in an ever-changing world. We can become agents of positive transformation, catalysts for innovation and growth, bridges between different worlds and perspectives. The secret power of Hermes, then, is not so much a secret as an open invitation to embrace change, cultivate flexibility, seek unexpected connections, and, above all, remain open to the infinite possibilities that each moment offers us. At the end of this journey through the myth and meaning of Hermes, we are left with a deeper understanding not just of an ancient Greek deity, but of a fundamental principle that continues to shape our experience of the world. The power of Hermes, the power to transcend boundaries, facilitate connections, and catalyze transformation, is as relevant today as it was in ancient times. In a world that often seems divided by artificial boundaries between nations, cultures, academic disciplines, or ideologies, Hermes' call for mediation and creative synthesis is more urgent than ever. His example invites us to be bridges, not walls, to seek understanding, not division, to embrace change as an opportunity for growth and evolution. By incorporating the spirit of Hermes into our lives, we can become more adaptable, more creative, better able to navigate the complexity and uncertainty of our time. We can learn to see the subtle connections that link different aspects of our experience, to find meaning and purpose even in the midst of apparent chaos. The secret power of Hermes, then, is not something external to us, but a potential that resides within each of us. It is the power of transformation, of constant renewal, of seeing the world with eyes that are always fresh and filled with wonder. It is the power to be a lifelong learner, an eternal explorer, always open to new possibilities and perspectives. May we, inspired by Hermes' example, cultivate these qualities in our own lives. May we become messengers of understanding, agents of positive transformation, mediators between different worlds and perspectives. And may we, in doing so, contribute to creating a more connected, more compassionate, and more harmonious world. The hidden power of Hermes is within our reach. It is up to us to recognize it, embrace it, and manifest it in our lives and in the world around us. For in the end, the true power of Hermes lies not in his mythology or ancient rituals, but in the way his qualities continue to manifest through us, inspiring us to transcend boundaries, make unexpected connections, and transform not only ourselves but the world around us.